अबू बकर उमर होंगे, उस्मान अली होंगे। अबू बकर उमर होंगे, उस्मान अली होंगे। हसनैन के नाना की, हसनैन के नाना की क्या बज़्म सजी होगी। दरबार रिसालत की कैसी वो गड़ी होगी। जाएंगे मदीने में ले जाएगा अल्लाह जब, सब कहते हैं इंशाअल्लाह। जाएंगे मदीने में ले जाएगा अल्लाह जब, दिल सजदा कुना होगा, दिल सजदा कुना होगा। आँखों में जड़ी होगी, दरबार रिसालत की कैसी वो गड़ी होगी। जब उहद बदर वाले आका पे हुए कुर्बान, जब उहद बदर वाले आका पे हुए कुर्बान, खुशखबरी जन्नत की, खुशखबरी जन्नत की फिर उनको मिली होगी। दरबार रिसालत की कैसी वो गड़ी होगी। जब आप चले होंगे असहाब की क़ुर्बत में, जब आप चले होंगे असहाब की क़ुर्बत में, एक चांद सितारों की, एक चांद सितारों की बारात चली होगी। दरबार रिसालत की कैसी वो गड़ी होगी। आखिरी शेर, आका की मदीने में जब आमद थी शाहिद, आका की मदीने में जब आमद थी शाहिद, हर आँख मदीने की, हर आँख मदीने की आका पे लगी होगी। दरबार रिसालत की कैसी वो गड़ी होगी। हसन के होठों पे जब नाते नबी होगी। दरबार रिसालत की कैसी वो गड़ी होगी।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। कैसे आप?
The only thing I can say is that we are very fortunate that Hazrat Maulana has given us his very valuable and precious time. He is always traveling, people call from everywhere, he has no time for them. But alhamdulillah,
No,
he has
we
given
have
us
time
such
for
time.
Wimbledon, inshallah.
But he's very got a very busy schedule. But please do listen carefully, an open heart and open mind, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Maulana Shoaib Sahib texted me. I think, in Bangladesh. Then he texted me again, I was in Malawi. And then I was in Zambia, then South Africa. I said, I'm coming, let me get home first, then we'll fix the program. Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah. Jazakallah. To all Wimbledon people. Huh? Move up one step. फिर इनको नजर नहीं आएगा, इनकी गर्दन डूब जाएगी. What do you reckon, भाई? यहाँ बैठो कि वो कह रहे हैं move up one step.
आपको जो समझ
ये अच्छा है यार, eye to eye contact से. ऐसा करो, इसको हटा दो. अब ठीक हो गया? ये हो गया. ठीक है? अब नजर आ रहा है? चले. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह नहमदुहु व नस्तईनुहु व नस्तगफिरुहु व नुमिनु बिही व नतवक्कलु अलैहि. ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تبارك وتعالى عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم. وقال تعالى ولو ردوه إلى الرسول وإلى أولي الأمر منهم لعلمه الذين يستنبطونه منه ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته لاتبعتم الشيطان إلا قليلا. وقال تعالى وما أرسلنا من قبلك إلا رجالا نوحي إليهم فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. وقال تعالى وصاحبهما في الدنيا معروفا واتبع سبيل من أناب إلي. وقال تعالى وإذا قيل له آمنوا كما آمن الناس قالوا ونؤمن كما آمن السفهاء ألا إنهم هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون. وقال تعالى فإن آمنوا بمثل ما آمنتم به فقد اهتدوا وإن تولوا فإنما هم في شقاق فسيكفيكهم الله وهو السميع العليم. وقال تعالى اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يحمل هذا العلم من كل خلف عدوله ينفون عنه تحريف الغالين وتأويل الجاهلين وانتحال المبطلين. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام إن العلماء ورثة الأنبياء وإن الأنبياء لم يورثوا دينارا ولا درهما وإنما ورثوا العلم فمن أخذه أخذ بحظ وافر. وقال عليه السلام إن الله تعالى لا يقبض العلم انتزاعا ينتزعه من الناس ولكن يقبض العلم بقبض العلماء فإذا لم يبق عالما اتخذ الناس رؤوسا جهالا فسئلوا فأفتوا بغير علم فضلوا وأضلوا. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام يد الله على الجماعة ومن شذ شذ في النار. وقال عليه السلام إن الله تعالى لا يجمع أمتي على ضلالة أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. صدق الله مولانا العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الأمي الكريم ونحن على ما قال ربنا وخالقنا ورازقنا من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. सब दुरूद शरीफ पढ़े. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Respected elders, brothers, friends, young ones, I realize you've been here, mashallah, since before Isha. Mashallah, you've been listening to tilawat and nasheeds. May Allah give barakat to Qari Sufyan Sahib, Hari Naeem Ismail Saab, protect them from Nazaribat, from Hasad, and accept their tilawat and recitation. May Allah give them long life. May Allah give us opportunity to listen from them more and more nasheed. I would also like to thank Maulana Shuaib Saab for organizing this program, inviting me to come to this special gathering. MashaAllah, nice masjid. I've been here before. We had bayan about Akhirat and Alamat Sa'at, Qiyamat. Alhamdulillah, many of you turned up. Today as well, there's lots of you brothers here, ladies as well. May Allah reward you all for your muhabbat. This shows that you have love for your deen. You want to learn and you want to understand. That is why you are here. You are giving your precious time to learn and study. The time you spend over here is in studying deen, studying ilm. And this is the best time of your life. You will realize this in akhirat, that this was the most precious time which you spent in learning, studying. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, لَأَن تَغْدُوَ إِلَى الْمَسْجِدِ فَتَقْرَأَ أَوْ تَعَلَّمَ آيَةً مِنْ كِتَابِ اللَّهِ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنْ أَن تَغْدُوَ إلى النقيع فتأتي بناقة كوماوين واثنتين من كوماوين اثنتين كوماوين أو كما قال عليه السلام. That if you go to the masjid in the morning or in the evening and you learn one ayat of Quran or you teach someone one ayat of Quran, that is better than going to the Naqi' market and getting one beautiful, healthy, strong camel with large hump, without any ithm and qatiyati rahim, without any sin and without breaking any relations. And two better than two, three better than three. وَمِنْ أَعْدَادِهِنَّ مِنَ الْإِلْمِ. So you come to the masjid, you learn something that is better than any worldly commodity product you can think of. The best product you can think of, you can achieve that. That is nothing in comparison to the time you spent in the masjid, in the house of Allah, which is the most beloved spot to Allah on the face of the earth. أَحَبُّ الْبِلَادِ إِلَى اللَّهِ مَسَاجِدُهَا. You are over here, you are spending your time in some worthwhile cause. Allah will reward you for every minute and every second you spend over here. Respected elders, brothers, friends, ladies, today's topic is a special topic. Is following Imam in line with Quran and Hadith? I was listening to this Sheikh on YouTube because you have to do research. Sometimes you have to use these as well. And the Sheikh says, if they are not following Quran and Hadith, then are they following Torah, Zabur and Injil? Do they get Masail from Torah and Injil? Where do they get the Masail from? MashaAllah, nice point. Aimma, Mazahim, Mujtahideen. Where do they get their Masail from? Quran and Hadith. They didn't take Masail out of their pockets, the rather shooting. No, they took Masail from Quran and Hadith. And believe me, they were a million times more parhezgar, more muttaqi, more God-fearing, more careful, more cautious than you and me and anybody on the face of this earth at the moment. Nobody can come close to them in ilm, in taqwa, piety, in wara, in ibadat, in worship, in zuhd fi dunya, and raghbat fil akhirat, and in khawf min Allah, in ithar, and giving preference to others over themselves, and in their selflessness, in their humility, and in their tawadhu, and in all the characteristics which are required in an alim or a mu'min. They had that to the highest levels. And they knew Quran and Hadith inside out. No one can come close to them. They were Hafiz of the whole Quran. Very strong Hafiz. Not Kacha Hafiz like you and me, Ramzani Hafiz. They make mistakes on the Musalla. Nah, they never used to make mistakes. They had mistakes. Strong Hafiz, man, no mistakes. Imagine Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayhi was once asked a masala. This old man comes and says, Shafi'i, is ijma' of ummah hujjah? Shafi'i said, yes, of course. Ijma' and consensus of the ummah on a mas'ala is also a hujjat shar'iyya. So he said, I want dalil, and I don't want dalil from anywhere, I want dalil just from Quran. Imam Shafi said, bhai. He said, no, I want dalil from Quran. I said, okay, no problem. He left. Imam Shafi rahmatullah started reciting the Quran from beginning till end. He read it once, full. And he read it again twice, full. And third time when he was reading it, his mind came across the verse in Surah An-Nisa, in 5th juz, in the 15th ruku, wherein Allah said, وَمَن يُشَاقِقِ الرَّسُولَ مِن بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى وَنُصْلِهِ جَهَنَّمَ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. Which means whosoever opposes, goes against the messenger after guidance has become really clear to him, and he follows any path other than the path of the mu'mineen, then we will let him go in the direction which he is heading, and we will roast him in the fire of Jahannam, and wasa'at masira, it is an evil place to go to. So Imam Shafi rahmatullah said, وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ is dalil of ijma' ummat's hujjiyat. Because when all the mu'mineen get together and form a consensus on one mas'ala, then that is sabilul mu'mineen. And to go against that is going against the ijma, and that person will go away from everyone. This is what Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam said in the hadith, Yadullahi ala al-jama'ah wa man shadda shudda fin nar. Allah's help, hand means assistance, succor, support, help, is with the jama'ah, and whosoever isolates himself will isolate himself in the fire of Jahannam. Na'udhu billah. So Imam Shafi said, this is the lead. The old man came after 2-3 days, and Imam Shafi explained to him. He said, thank you very much, Jazakallah. He knew the Quran Sharif inside out. Hadith Sharif, they have gone out and memorized thousands upon thousands upon thousands of hadith. Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayhi was only 14 years old when he became Mufti of Makkah, and he was giving fatwa in Makkah Sharif. He had memorized the whole of Mu'atta Imam Malik. He went to Medina Sharif to study from Imam Malik. Imam Malik thought that this is a young boy. He did not pay much attention to him. Imam Shafi rahmatullah realized. So in next lesson, Imam Shafi came a bit close and he said, Hazrat, can I read your Muwatta to you? He said, what do you mean read my Muwatta to you? I know your Muwatta by heart. I've memorized it. I know your whole kitab. You know whole Muwatta by heart? He said, I know. Started reading. And he read it. And he read pages upon pages upon pages. Imam Malik was amazed, shocked. And Imam Malik gave him full attention, mashallah. Honhar talim ilm, student. He knew the whole Muwatta of Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi by heart. He memorized it at that young age. They were huffaz of hadith. They knew hadith sharif inside out. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahmatullah alayhi was asked, if a person memorizes 100,000 hadith, can he give out fatwas? Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal said, no. 200,000? No. 300,000? No. 400,000? No. He said, more than 500,000. He knows all the hadith collection by. And Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal replied, perhaps, maybe. They had memorized all these hadith by heart, and still they were scared of giving fatwas. So their knowledge was profound. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, he was Hafizul Quran. Khatib Baghdadi has narrated in Tarikh Baghdad from 5 narrators that Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi would often start reciting the Quran after Isha, and he would finish the whole Quran tilawat before Fajr. And for 40 years he prayed the Salatul Fajr with the wuzu of Isha. He would never sleep at night. He would be busy in ibadat, du'as, munajat, and dars, tadris, and tilawat, qira'at. Busy. He wouldn't sleep. How could you do that? It is narrated in Al-Ashbah wal-Nazair by Ibn Nujaym al-Misri rahmatullah alayh, that Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayh was passing with some of his friends from some area, and two ladies were talking among themselves, and one pointed to Imam Abu Hanifa and said to the other, "You see this man? This is Abu Hanifa. He never sleeps at night." So Imam Abu Hanifa overheard that, and he said, "Wallahi, la yatahaddathu an-nasu anni bima lam af'al." Wallah, people will not talk about me regarding something which I don't do. So she said it, so from now on, I'm not going to sleep at night. And he made dua with some Asma'i Husna. And he said, "Ya Allah, you don't sleep, your Malaika don't sleep. Give me the strength to avoid sleeping so I can worship you throughout the whole night." And he made Salatul Hajat and Asma'i Husna and read them and made dua and cried to Allah. Allah gave him that strength. He would never need to sleep at night. He never felt any fatigue, any weakness. After Fajr, he would be busy in teaching. He would do a little bit of qaylula, siesta in the afternoon, and he would say, "I'm only doing this because it's sunnah, for ittiba'i sunnah. Otherwise, my body doesn't require this either." So he used to read the whole Quran, sometimes in one rakat. One rakat, he would read the whole Quran. This is how strong Hafiz he was. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi went around the muhaddithin of Kufa and studied all the ahadith of muhaddithin of Kufa. He went to Basra, he studied ahadith from Ayyub Sakhtiyani, Abdullah ibn Aoud ibn Aqtaban al-Basri, who were students of Hasan Basri rahmatullah alayhi. He went to Makkah Mukarramah and gathered the ilm of Ata ibn Abi Rabah, who was the mufti of Makkah Mukarramah. He studied from Ata ibn Abi Rabah. He went to Medina Munawwara, studied from the ulama of Medina. Imam Malik rahmatullahi alayhi was younger than him, 13 years younger, because Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi was born in the year 80 after Hijrah, and Imam Malik rahmatullahi alayhi was born in the year 93 after Hijrah. Still, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi used to respect Imam Malik rahmatullahi alayhi, and he took hadith from Imam Malik as well. Sometimes they had debates. Once Imam Malik said to one of his students, "You see that man going? Who is he?" And then he said, "He's Abu Hanifa. If he was to see that this pillar is made from gold, it would turn out to be from gold." That's how strong his opinions are. He thinks carefully and then he forms the opinion. So he had gathered all the ahadith which were possible at the time. Among his students is Qazi Abu Yusuf rahmatullahi alayhi. Qazi Abu Yusuf rahmatullahi alayhi says that Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi used to conduct a majlis. And in that majlis he had 40 great ulama who were all hafiz of Quran, hafizul hadith, extremely learned experts in their field. If some non-hafiz would want to attend that majlis, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi would say, "Sorry, you can't sit in majlis, you won't understand what's going on." Imam Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Shaybani rahmatullahi alayhi was a young boy. He came to study with Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi. Imam Sahib asked him, "Young man, are you hafiz?" He said, "No, I'm not hafiz." "Well, you can't sit in this majlis, because we will be giving reference to ayat-e-Quraniyya and you won't know what's going on. So you have to be hafiz to sit in this majlis." He said, "Okay, no problem." He left. 1 week later he came back. Imam Sahib said, "But I told you that you have to be hafiz to sit in this majlis." And he said, "Hazrat, I am hafiz." In 1 week he memorized the whole Quran. Imam Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Shaybani rahmatullahi alayhi. And he went on to become one of the greatest students of Imam Abu Hanifa. Abu Yusuf and Muhammad are both called Sahibain, the great students of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi. So in that majlis, Masail would be discussed. And after long discussion, whatever conclusion comes, they would note it down. Abu Yusuf says sometimes majlis would be concluded without any final decision. We still need to elaborate further. So he said, in my free time, I would go around the muhaddithin of Kufa and ask them about any hadith for this mas'ala which is under discussion. If I found some hadith, I would bring it, and next day I would present it to Imam Sahib, Imam Abu Hanifa. Imam Abu Hanifa would smile and he would say, I know that hadith, but in that hadith there is so and so much defect, that's why I did not quote it yesterday. And it would turn out to be exactly what Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi had said. This is why the biographers say, Kana an-Nu'man jama'a haditha baladihi فنظر إلى الآخر فالآخر من أمر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فأخذ به. He gathered all the ahadith of his city, Kufa. Kufa was a city center of learning. Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu and his students had filled Kufa with ilm. Sayyiduna Ali came after him and his students had filled it with ilm. And many Sahaba. And this is why Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi alayhi, when he came, he went to study Kufa as well. He said, La uhsi kam dakhaltul Kufa ma'al muhaddithin. So he was a huge center of learning. And Imam Sahib was there. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi studied from his ustad, Hammad ibn Abi Sulaiman, who was a great student of Ibrahim ibn Yazid al-Nakhai, who was a great student of Alqamah ibn Waqqas al-Laythi, and who was a great student of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu. So these are the ulama of Kufa. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, he learned all the ahadith. He was hafiz of Quran, hafiz of hadith, and hafiz of the aqwal of Sahaba statements with regards to masail. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi knew the aqwal of Sahaba. Once Khalifa Abu Ja'far al-Mansur asked him that, Abu Hanifa, Amman akhazta al-ilm? From whom did you acquire knowledge? And he said, An ashabi Umar an Umar, wa an ashabi Ali an Ali, wa an ashabi ibn Mas'ud an ibn Mas'ud. And Khalifa Abu Ja'far Mansur said, Laqad istawthaqta. You've done really, firm thing. These are the legends from whom ilm should be taken. On another occasion, he asked him, how do you derive masail? And he said, we look through the Quran. If we can find the mas'ala in the Quran, alhamdulillah. If not, we look in the hadith. And if we can find the mas'ala in the hadith, ala ra'si wal ayn. If there are various ahadith, differing in one matter, we try to reconcile and combine them, merge them, and then try to practice on all the ahadith. Otherwise, we give tarjih. Which one is nasikh, which one is mansukh, which one is first, which one is later on, which one is rajih, which one is marjuh. And then we give the tarjih and weight to the ahadith. And then, if we can't find in the hadith, we look at the aqwal and statements of Sahaba. And we see which one is closest to the Quran and hadith, and we take that statement. For example, in the Quran, Allah said, أَوْ لَامَسْتُمُ النِّسَاءَ فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا مَاءً فَتَيَمَّمُوا. Lamasa means to touch. So, is it the meaning that if you touch a woman, your wuzu is broken? Or does it mean lamasa over here also could mean jima', sexual intercourse? Over here, two aqwal are narrated. One from Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, the other from Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu. One of them says that it means mere touching. So if you touch a woman, then your wuzu is broken. But the other said no, it means sexual intercourse. Then you will be in need of ghusl. That is meant by lamastumun nisa. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi saw that the statement of jima' is more closer to the Quran and Hadith. In Hadith, many times Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam would go to the masjid for salah and he would kiss Aisha radiallahu anha before going in the masjid. In hadith, Aisha radiallahu anha says, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam was not on my side when I woke up. So I got suspicious. Has he gone to another wife or what? So I was shaking. But then I thought he might be here. Now remember, there is no light in the room. It's dark, pitch black. So Aisha says, I started searching for him. And my hands fell on his soul whilst he was in sajda, and he was saying, Allahumma inni a'udhu bi'afwika min iqabika wa biridaka min sakhatika wa bika minka jalla wajhuka la uhsi thana'an alayk anta kama asnayta ala nafsik. So I said, bi abi anta wa ummi inni lafi sha'nin wa innaka lafi sha'nin akhar. May my mother and father be sacrificed to you. Here I am under the whisperings of shaitan, having bad thoughts about you, and there you are crying in front of your Lord in the munajat. Now in the hadith, Imam Abu Hanifa spoke that her hand touched the soul of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, but his salah did not break. That means touching a woman does not break the wudu. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi took that statement, which was more closer to the hadith, that mere touching does not break the wudu. Now Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi was an extremely intelligent person. You know, he could grasp something from a distance, not just in dini matters, but in day-to-day affairs as well. He was really, really sharp, very sharp. In Siratul Nu'man, it is narrated that Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi was once invited to a walima. And that walima was for two sons of a wealthy person in Kufa. And there were many other senior figures there as well, like Sufyan Thawri rahmatullahi alayhi, Mis'ad ibn Qidam rahmatullahi alayhi, Waqi ibn al-Jarrah rahmatullahi alayhi, and others. Now, just as the walima was about to start, some confusion happened and a masla came forward. What happened was that in those days, after wedding, they would send the groom to the bride's room. Now, because two brothers were married, they sent each brother in the wrong room and they slept with the wrong woman who was not their wife. And in the morning they found out, this is someone else. Now, in that confusion, the host, he came rushing to these ulama. He said, ulama kiram, this confusion has happened. What do we do now? So Sufyan Thawri, Mis'ad ibn Qidam, and they say, well, because this confusion has happened, then the woman with whom they were married, the girl, he has to divorce that girl, and she has to go through 3 monthly cycle period, and then see that there's no pregnancy, no hamal there, and then she will be able to marry the original boy with whom the nikah was done, and same with the other young man. So everybody was saying, yeah, that's a masala. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah was quiet. So they said, Imam Sahib, you say something, why are you quiet? Imam Sahib rahmatullah said, call them over here to me. They both came. And Imam Sahib said, do you like the one you slept with? Yes, I like her. Do you like the one you slept with? Yes, I like her. He said, all right, then you divorce your wife and you divorce your wife. And they both divorced it. And said, now we do your nikah to the one whom you slept with and your nikah to the one whom you slept with. Because when after nikah, marriage is not consummated, then فَمَا لَكُمْ عَلَيْهِنَّ مِنْ عِدَّةٍ تَعْتَدُّونَهَا. There is no iddah. So only nikah was done and marriage was not consummated with your wife, so she doesn't need to go through iddah. So Imam Sahib said, you've given her talaq, so that nikah is cancelled automatically. She doesn't need to go through iddah. We're doing your nikah with her and your nikah with her, and chalo walima khao. It was really sharp. He used to get to those matters where others couldn't even think of. This is what made him a cut above the rest. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi knew Quran, he knew Hadith inside out, he knew aqwal of Sahaba, he knew ijma' of Ummah, where there is consensus, the masail in which a consensus was formed by the Sahaba, Tabi'een, where they all gather and they say, this is the mas'ala. All the ijma'. For example, Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu, during his era this mas'ala comes. Whether if a person has sexual intercourse with the wife, but he does not ejaculate, does he have to do ghusl or not? So in the beginning, there was a little bit of ikhtilaf. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam had said, al-ma'u min al-ma'. But later on, he had said, إِذَا جَلَسَ بَيْنَ شُعَبِهَا الْأَرْبَعِ ثُمَّ جَهَدَهَا فَقَدْ وَجَبَ الْغُسْلِ. He had said, إِذَا الْتَقَى الْخِتَانَانِ فَقَدْ وَجَبَ الْغُسْلِ. Meaning ghusl becomes wajib just by intercourse. When the place of khatna meets the place of khatna, then ghusl is wajib. So there was a little bit ikhtilaf. Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu called upon the Sahaba that we get in various cases, somebody saying this, somebody saying that. What should we do in this matter? So he called everyone, the ikhtilaf. He called Muhajirin, there was difference of opinion. He called Ansar, there was difference of opinion. So he called the elite Sahaba, the Badriyin, the elite ones. And he said, this is ikhtilaf, agree upon something. And they all said that the last amr or hukm of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam was of al-ghusl, and al-ma'u min al-ma' was from the earlier days. So we should all come to one conclusion that you have to do ghusl no matter what happens. So Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu, declared this among people that from now on we practice on this last mas'ala, and whoever happens to do this, he has to do ghusl. And that's ijma' on there. Imam Abu Hanifa knows. This is why all A'immai Arba'a, Abu Hanifa, Shafi'i, Malik, Ahmad, they all combine on this mas'ala. Everybody says that the ghusl is first. Many masail like this were established by Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu. Al-ijma'. So when there is ijma', you don't need any Qurani ayat, you don't need any hadith. Because ijma' of Sahaba is there. And I'll tell you one more mas'ala. I don't know, some of you might not like it. Ramzan is coming. How many rakat tarawih are you going to pray? 8 or 20? 20. 20 rakats ijma' on there. Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu, in the year 14 after Hijrah, it was his first Ramzan after the death of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu. And he saw people in small groups praying here and there behind this imam, that imam, that imam. And he said, if I was to gather these behind one imam, it would be better. He called upon Ubay ibn Ka'b. He said, you were given the title, Aqra'uhum li kitabillahi Ubay ibn Ka'b. You lead them in Tarawih. And he instructed them to read 20 rakats Tarawih and then 3 rakats Witr. From then on, all Sahaba's ijma was done. Hazrat Aisha radiyallahu anha, who is said to narrate the 8 rakat hadith, she was also there. She would pray 20 as well. And all the Sahaba, and all the masajid in Medina, and all the masajid where Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu's reign was, they all prayed 20 rakats from then on. This is ijma' of Sahaba. If he was something wrong, the Sahaba would have objected, like they would object on even the smallest of things. They objected even the smallest of things. Do you remember when Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu started to give khutbah and he said, "Ayyuhan nas isma'u wa ati'u." Listen and obey. One person stood up. La nasma'u wa la nuti'u. We won't listen, we won't obey. Hey, what's happened? What's up? You had some sheets from outside, chadars. You gave everyone one sheet and you've taken 2 sheets and you're wearing 2, the lower garment, upper garment, nice, beautiful, double sheets, uniform. And this is not insaf. Why did you take 2? We won't listen to you. And Sayyidina Umar said, thank you very much. Jazakallah for the question. Abdullah, where are you? Stand up. And he said, Abdullah stood up. And he said, whose is the second sheet? And Abdullah said, it's my sheet. I let my father wear it. And the person said, now we will listen and obey. Even the smallest thing, they used to speak up. If this was something bid'ah, would Sahaba would not have spoken up? All the Sahaba prayed according to what Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu said. This ijma'. And not only ijma' of Hazrat Umar radiyallahu anhu's time, Hazrat Umar dies after 10 years. Uthman becomes Khalifa, 12 years. Sayyiduna Ali becomes Khalifa, 5 years. All three Khulafai Rashideen, 20 rakats. There is ijma' of ummah in there. Now whoever goes against that is doing kharq of ijma'. He's tearing that ijma' apart. This is why we say ijma' of ummah is hujjat. This is why I said in the beginning, Imam Shafi'i said, Sabilul Mu'mineen. You can't go against the Sabilul Mu'mineen. Many masail. Uthman Ghani radiallahu anhu, in his khilafat, he sees that on Friday, people are turning up late. Islam has spread. New people have entered Islam. And many people miss the azan of khutbah. In the time of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there was only one azan. When the imam sits on the mimbar, azan is called out. In the time of Abu Bakr, in the time of Umar, same. Uthman Ghani radiallahu anhu made mashwara with the Sahaba that people are turning up late. It would be nice if we added the first azan and people can hear that azan and they come to the masjid early so they don't miss the khutbah and their masjid is full at the time of khutbah. And all Sahaba agreed. Uthman Ghani radiallahu anhu made this announcement that another azan will be added, which is the first azan. This is ijma' of Sahaba. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah knew all these ijmas, and he said that there are 4 sources of deriving masail from Quran and Hadith of Sharia. Number 1, Quran. Number 2, Hadith. Number 3, ijma' of Sahaba. And number 4, qiyas. Qiyas means using your logic, your wisdom, your understanding to derive istinbat of hukm ilahi, Allah's hukm. This is called in the ayat لَعَلِمَهُ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَنْبِطُونَهُ مِنْهُمْ. This istinbat's ability is not in every person. You know, we are all sitting over here, our abilities are different, our minds are different, our intellect is different, our intelligence is different. Not everybody is in the same level. So Quran said that those who are of the ability of istinbat, they will deduce that mas'ala and understand, and they will give the verdict according to that. لَعَلِمَهُ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَنْبِطُونَهُ مِنْهُ. Imam Abu Hanifa, rahmatullahi alayhi, Imam Shafi, Imam Malik, Imam Ahmad, Allah had given them that special ability to deduce masail from Quran Hadith. And this is called qiyas, analyzing and gauging masail, taking masail out from Quran Hadith. What is qiyas? Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi alayhi, in his Sahih al-Bukhari, mentions qiyas. He says, Babu man shabbaha aslan ma'luman bi aslin ghayri ma'lumin. This is qiyas. You know one principle, you base that, and on that, another mas'ala which can be formed in connection with this, you analyze that with this, is called qiyas. Ta'diyatul hukm min al-asli ila al-far'. Taking the hukm one step forward from the asl to the fara is called qiyas. Example is given. We have drugs, class A, class B, class C, class D, heroin, cocaine, marijuana, various types of drugs. Now these drugs did not prevail in the time of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now we want to know what is the hukm of drugs today. We can't find it in Quran, we can't find it in the Hadith, we can't find it in the Athar Sahaba. So what do? We use our buddhi, our aql, intelligence. What does drug do? A drug intoxicates the mind. It covers up the brain. It doesn't let you think properly. You don't know what you're doing. Yeah, you're flying like a bird. Everything is flying around you. That's the effect it has on your brain. And this is the same effect in alcohol. Alcohol intoxicates the mind. It covers up the brain. It doesn't let you think properly. And then you do some absurd things. You argue, you swear, you abuse, you fight, you throw chairs, you throw bottles. This is what you do when you're drunk. And drugs make you do that as well. So drugs effect is the same as the effect of alcohol. So the fuqaha will say, just as alcohol is haram, drugs will be haram as well. So this is qiyas. Now Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi was gifted with this understanding and intelligence. And he used to deduce masail. Now you might say, but you can find all masail in Quran Hadith. No, my friend. You can't find every masla in Quran Hadith. Hazrat Maulana Amin Safdar Ukadwi rahmatullahi alayhi has given a summary of masail. He said, in Quran Sharif, there are over 6,000 verses. Most of the verses deal with either stories of the previous prophets, or deal with aqaid beliefs, iman, yaqeen, risalat, tawheed, akhirat, ba'ath ba'd al-maut. All, Pare Amma, Juzu Amma, it's all about aqidah, akhirat, mujazat. Yasin Sharif is all about akhirat, tawheed, risalat, akhirat. So most of the Quran talks about these topics, about aqaid, amsal, qisas, ibar, mawa'iz, admonition, nasiha, advice. The ayat of ahkam in Quran Sharif are how many? Nurul Anwar fi Sharh al-Manar say 500. Like aqimus salat wa atuz zakat, hada halalun wa hada haram, jaiz, najaiz. These ahkam, legislative rulings, those ayat which have ahkam in them are 500. Hadith Sharifa, vast collection of hadith. Thousands of ahadith. But among them, the ahadith of ahkam, which are sahih, leaving aside the da'if ahadith. According to Abdullah ibn Mubarak, there are 1,000 sahih ahadith for hukm and amr and nahi and legislation. And it's fiqhi jurisprudence, Islamic jurisprudence. How many ahadith? 1,000. Qazi Abu Yusuf said 1,200. Whichever statement we take, among the collection of hadith, plenty of hadith, you see, you open Bukhari Sharif, Sahih Bukhari, you will get first Badul Wahi, and then Iman, and then Taharat, and then Salat, Zakat, Hajj, and so on. And then starts Buyu', and then Al-Jihad, Wal-Siyar, Wal-Maghazi, Badul Khalq, Tafsir, Fadailul Quran, and then comes Nikah, Talaq, and then comes adab and at'imah and ashribah and riqaq and i'tisam bil kitab was sunnah, and then finally comes al-raddu ala al-jahmiyya wa ghayrihim at-tawheed. Now you see, ahkam ahadith are only in the ibadat section and maybe in the nikah section. Otherwise the rest of the Bukhari Sharif is about mawa'iz and ibar and siyar and akhlaq and adab and maghazi and tafsir and riqaq. So ahadith of ahkam, we can say sahih ahadith of ahkam are 1,000 or 1,200 according to Abu Yusuf. And Sahaba's statement about ahkam. Hazrat Maulana Sabin Safdar Ukadwi rahmatullahi writes, if you open Musannaf Ibn Abi Shaybah, which is in about 28-30 volumes, it's got ahadith marfu'a and Asar Sahaba Mawqufa, and also Asar Tabi'een, Aqwal Tabi'een, and the amount of statements of Sahaba in Musannaf Ibn Abi Shaybah are 27,000. How many? 27,000. And then he said the amount of Masail which Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi and his student, that great scholarly work which they produced with that team of 40 ulama kiram, huffaz, ulama, muhaddithin. They used to sit and deduce masail. The masail which Imam Abu Hanifa and his student deduced, took istinbat and ijtihad from Quran, from ahadith, from athar sahaba, amount up to over 100,000 masail. Imam Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani rahmatullahi alayhi gathered them, collected them. Those masail are in his large voluminous books, Al-Jami' al-Saghir, Al-Jami' al-Kabir, As-Siyar al-Saghir, As-Siyar al-Kabir, Al-Mabsut, Al-Ziyadat. These are books of Imam Muhammad. Abu Yusuf rahmatullah alayhi, and his books about Kitab al-Khiraj. This is why Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi. Now do you remember when Imam Abu Hanifa was born? 80. Imam Malik was born in 93. And Imam Shafi'i was born in 150. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal was born in 164. Right? So Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi, born in 150, the year when Imam Abu Hanifa died, is the same year when Imam Shafi'i was born. So Imam Shafi'i came to study from the students of Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani. And Imam Muhammad, after finishing from Imam Malik in Medina, Imam Shafi'i traveled to Iraq with the permission of Imam Malik. And he came to Imam Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani. He studied here for a long time, few years he spent here. And Imam Muhammad paid great attention to him. And he gave him 2 camel load of books as hadiyah and gift. And he حملت من محمد ibn al-Hasan وقري حمل بعير is what he said. And he said, Imam Shafi'i's statement, this is what I want to tell you. He said, من أراد أن يتبحر في الفقه فلينظر في كتب أبي حنيفة. الناس عيال على أبي حنيفة في الفقه. People are dependents on Abu Hanifa in fiqh. If you want to gain deep knowledge into fiqh, then you'll have to study the books of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi. Because Imam Abu Hanifa, Allah gave him that special ability. So, these masail were deduced. And what Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi did was, he showed the ummah the way of deriving and deducing masail from Quran and Hadith. Because Imam Abu Hanifa saw that before him, what was happening was, there were ulama in every town and city and area and masajid. They would sit in the large Jami Masjid of Kufa, Dimashq, Yemen, or Misr, Jami Amr ibn al-As. Ulama would be there, people would go, ask them masail, they would answer, and that's it, done. And they would trust that alim, whoever alim is in the masjid, say, which masala, what should I do, this. Now Imam Abu Hanifa saw that if this keeps going on, then a time will come when people will make their own conclusions and take masail from Quran Hadith in the way they want. So there should be some principles which should be followed to take masail from Quran and Hadith. He laid the foundations of those principles of how to take masail from Quran and Hadith, which I have just mentioned to you. You look in the Quran first. You go over all the hadith, ayat of ahkam. You look in the hadith, all the hadith of ahkam. You look in aqwal al-sahaba, you know all the aqwal of sahaba, and then you have the ability to analyze and deduce from Quran Hadith. And this is the way forward, this is how people should be doing it. And this was amazing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used Imam Abu Hanifa for this purpose. Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali rahmatullah alayhi writes in one place that it was a mercy from Allah that Allah formed these mazahib. He's talking about the mazahib, Hanafi, Shafi'i, Malik, Ahmad. If it was not for these mazahib and Islam continued as it was, then what would have happened was that our deen, Islam, would have become like the deen of the Jews and the Christians. They have formed their own opinions and they interpreted the Bible in the way they wanted. They interpreted the Torah in the way they wanted. And every person, every layman would be interpreting the Quran Hadith in the way they want. And there would have been a chaos. And our deen would have been interpolated, messed up with, and concocted. And Allah knows what would have happened to our deen. It was Allah's mercy that He formed these mazahib and people abided by these mazahib and they moved forward in this manner. Now, remember, these A'immah Mujtahideen, they never said, follow me. Right? They never sat in one room on one table and deduced masail and said, this is my opinion, this is my opinion. You know, I've told you their dates of birth and their dates of death. They were different times. What they did was, they put forward their research and the Ummah had confidence in their research and followed their research, accepted their research. And this happens in every field. In medicine field, in law, in engineering, there are principles laid for that field, and those who come to study, they follow those principles, and then they move forward according to those principles. Our friend Dr. Mazharuddin Sahab is a dentist, and he wrote a thesis about braces. Now when he's working on that thesis and about teeth, he's an elderly person, he has profound knowledge, he has experience of many years, and based on that knowledge, he writes that thesis, and that thesis is accepted by the University of Manchester, and they make it usul, that whoever goes on this field, now they have to study this, and according to this they have to go. So this is, the formation of the basis and principles of deducing masail from Quran and Hadith. Imam Abu Hanifa, rahmatullahi alayhi, had his principles. Imam Shafi had his principles. Imam Malik had his principles. And Imam Ahmad had his principles, usul. In the Muqaddamah of Mirqat Sharh al-Mishkat, which is of Mullah Ali Qari, rahmatullahi alayhi, there's an 80-90 page beautiful Muqaddamah. And in there are two beautiful letters of Shah Abdul Aziz Muhaddis Dehlavi, rahmatullahi alayhi, in which he talks about how these Aimma's principles were formed. What Imam Abu Hanifa looks at. We've just told you what Imam Abu Hanifa, rahmatullahi alayhi's viewpoint is. Quran first, then Ahadith collection, then Aqwal Sahaba, and then Qiyas. Imam Malik, rahmatullahi alayhi, his main principle was Amalu Ahlil Madinah. He would look at what was the amal of Ahl Madinah. Because if all Ahl Madinah are doing something and there is a single hadith which goes against the amal of Ahl Madinah, he leaves that single hadith, he takes the amal of Ahl Madinah. He said, why this single hadith over here? If everybody is doing this, this must be more closer to Quran and Hadith. Example, a masla comes. If you touch your private part, does your wuzu break? There is one hadith of Busrah bint Safwan that man massa zakarahu falyatawadda. If anyone touches his private part, then he should do his wuzu again because his wuzu is broken. Now Imam Malik rahmatullahi looks that throughout the whole Medina, the common knowledge is that if you touch your private part, then your wuzu doesn't break. And the Sahaba, they used to say like Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu anhu, that ma ubali masistu zakariya wa anfi. I don't care if I touch my private part or my nose. If I touch my nose, my wuzu doesn't break, then why would touching my private part break my wuzu? It's just a part of my body, it's my limb. And many Sahaba used to say this. So the common knowledge was that Massi Zakar does not break wuzu. So Imam Malik rahmatullah said this one hadith of Busra bint Safwan, we will leave it. It might be a special case, it might be something Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam said for some reason. There might be some interpretation to it. But this general common knowledge, Amalu Ahlil Madinah is on this. This is what we will take. Similar case, even in the time of Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu, Sayyiduna Umar radiyallahu anhu, a mas'ala comes. If a person divorces his wife 3 times, when talaq is done, finished. 3 in 1, 1 in 3 is not our mazhab. Somebody else's mazhab, 3 in 1. Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Shafi, Imam Malik, Imam Ahmad, 3 is 3. Don't be a stupid fool. Don't give 3 at once and then come say, hey, Malisa, can you draw something out for me, please? Now, bhai, if you've done 3, go. You can't do anything. You've done it. 3 is 3. Finish. Full stop. This is mazhab of Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Shafi, Imam Malik, Imam Ahmad, and the whole ummah. Ijma'i ummah on that. So, masala came, if a person divorced his wife 3 times, then does she deserve nafqa and kiswa or not? Expenses and sukna, nafqa and sukna. Expenses and lodging for the amount of 3 months, 3 monthly cycles, 3 periods. Does she deserve that or not? And one hadith came of Fatima bint Qais radiyallahu anha. And she said that my husband gave me 3 divorces, and I asked Nabi Kareem, and his family gave me very little expenses. I came to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and I complained, and he said, La nafaqat alayki wala sukna. You don't get any nafqa or sukna. So she narrated this hadith, who said this to me. But Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu, he said that he said that لا ندع كتاب ربنا ولا سنة نبينا بقول امرأة لا ندري حفظت أم نسيت أم شبه لها. We won't leave Quran and Sunnah of our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam because of one woman's statement. There is possibility she might have misheard something, she might have misunderstood something, she might have forgotten. But the common knowledge is lahan nafqatu was-suqna. When a woman is divorced 3 times, though there is no talaq-e-raji, she's not going to go back to the husband because his 3 is absolute. If he was talaq-e-raji, then she is going back to she could go back, he could take her back for 1 talaq, after 1 talaq. So he has to give expenses and lodging. But even if he gave 3, and she's not going to go back under any circumstances to him, then she will still get nafqa and sukna. He will have to provide lodging for as long as she is in the iddat, and he have to pay for her expenses. And he gave this ruling out. So you see here one hadith, but the common knowledge was different. Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi says, what is common knowledge is more stronger than one single hadith. The hadith is sahih, but still this is the case. And you go to Imam Shafi rahmatullah alayhi's principles, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal's principles, and they have their principles of deducing masail. Now what happens is, in that time, there weren't only 4 mazahib. There were plenty of mazahib. Mazhab of Sufyan Thawri, Mazhab of Imam Awza'i, Mazhab of Ibrahim Nakhai, some masail in there, Mazhab of Abu Thawr. But as time passed on, those mazahib faded away. Shah Waliullah Muhaddis Dehlavi rahmatullah alayhi said that after 400 years, there was no mujtahid mutlaq, and there were no other mazahib except these 4. And these 4 spread around the globe. Why did these 4 spread? This is Allah's hikmat and wisdom. Hazrat Shaykh Zakaria rahmatullah alayhi gives an example. If a person had 10 sons, and he had a long life, and during his life, his sons began to die one after the other. 6 of his sons died, and only 4 were remaining when he died, and they inherited their father. Now you can't say, why did only 4 inherit? Right? It was Allah's decision that they were alive, so they inherited, and they took whatever legacy was left behind. Similarly, there were many mazahib, let's say 10 mazahib, but they all faded away slowly, and these mazahib and these researchers prevailed. And you know why these researchers prevailed? Because these aimma, they had some special students, and they worked on their ustad's research, and they spread it, they elaborated it, took it further. And this is why they prevailed. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted their research. Imam Abu Hanifa's students, Abu Yusuf, he became Qaziul Quzat of Khalifa Harun al-Rashid, the chief justice, the judge of all judges. And he was Imam Saab's student. Imam Saab rahmatullah alayhi, Abu Yusuf in the beginning was very poor, destitute. His mother would say, don't go to Abu Hanifa to study, go and earn something, daily bread for us. He was yatim. So Imam Abu Hanifa noticed that he's missing lessons. He said, why you do? He said, this is the problem, don't worry. After lesson finished, he gave him a bag of coins. He said, take these, give it to your mom. When he finishes, take more from me, but come and study. So he began, he was really happy. He kept on studying. For nearly 20 years, he did not miss a single day from Imam Abu Hanifa's company. He said, even on Eid day, I was with Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah. So once he was sitting there, and his mother came and said, Abu Hanifa, make dua for my son. We are still going through tough times. So Imam Abu Hanifa said, lady, don't worry. Your son will be eating faluda of pista in beautiful containers made from beautiful glasses. And this was something Imam Abu Hanifa just said it. And it happened when Imam Abu Yusuf rahmatullah alayhi was in the parliament of Khalifa Harun al-Rashid. And these beautiful containers of faluda came, and Abu Yusuf looked at them, and then he had tears in his eyes, and he remembered his ustad. And my ustad made this prophecy, and Allah is giving me his blessing. Now Allah blessed him, and through him the fiqh of Hanafi spread, around, wherever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted it. Once I made this analysis of, the mazahib which are followed, going on internet, gathering all, and which mazhab is followed the most. I went on ChatGPT as well, bit of study. Let me tell you what ChatGPT is about following mazhab. It says following a madhab provides a structured approach to Islamic jurisprudence, offering Islamic guidance on various aspects of life. It can simplify decision making and ensure consistency in religious practices. You see the benefit of madhab. ChatGPT बड़ी अच्छी बात है. अभी अच्छी बात करो. मैंने पूछा कि which madhab is followed most, and it says Hanafi madhab is the most followed madhab in the world. It's followed in Central Asia, South Asia, Turkey, the Balkans, and parts of the Arabian world. Some time ago, मैंने analyze किया. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, कितनी पब्लिक है? माशाअल्लाह. Pakistan over 250 million, Bangladesh nearly 200 million. India, there's over 1 billion, but Muslims are nearly 250 to 300 million. And then Turkey, and then Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, all these stands. And then Albania and all these areas, Balkans, Caucasus, they're all following Hanafi mazhab. And in total up to 1 billion people follow the Hanafi mazhab. How many? 1 billion. 1 billion, B say, million nahi, B say billion. Billion. Or 400 million people follow Shafi'i. Indonesia, Malaysia, parts of our India, Konkan and these areas, some parts of Misr, Egypt. In Egypt there are both mazahib, Hanafi and Shafi'i. The law of the land is based on the Hanafi fiqh. And general public, some are Hanafi, others are Shafi'i. And 200 million are Malikis. In the Morocco, Mauritania, Senegal, the African countries, they follow the Maliki fiqh. So this is a brief analysis. And few hundred million were Hanabila. Hanabila were very few, Hanbalis. So this gives you a gauge. And Alhamdulillah, this is this. Remember, these fiqhi, Masail Islamic jurisprudence is not the research of one person. It's the scholarly research of 1445 years. Because when Imam Abu Hanifa researched, he did not do it himself. His students, they scrutinized his researches. And where they felt like something going against, they went against Imam Abu Hanifa's opinion as well. Same with Imam Shafi, same with Imam Malik, same with Imam Ahmad. And this is how the madhab was clear, munaqqah, saaf, clean ho gaya madhab. Or hazar or thousands of ulama. You go around the world, in our ulama, Deoband and Saharanpur, we get muftiyani kiram, thousands of muftiyani kiram. Even any mas'ala. Deen is not just about namaz and raising the hands and stretching the legs and ameen loudly. What about other masail of deen? Miras, wasiyyat, nikah, talaq, buyur, ijara, muamalat, dealings, lendings. You go, there's a vast field of Islamic jurisprudence. You read Hidayah, it's in 4 volumes. Sahib Hidayah wrote Hidayah Sharif in 11 years. 11 years it took him to write Hidayah Sharif. And for those 11 years, there was not a single day in which he was not fasting. Every day he would be fasting when he would be writing Hidayah Sharif. And this Hidayah Sharif's first 2 volumes is about ibadat, and last 2 volumes are muamalat, and the last 2 volumes have been translated in English as well. In English. And the law of these Western lands have taken much from our Hidayah Sharif. Many laws are derived from there. This is how the ulama work day and night tirelessly to deduce masail from there. So, these fiqh of fuqaha is not against Quran and Sunnah. It is from Quran and Sunnah. As I said in the beginning, they were more learned, they were more pious, they had more fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What's happening today is there's chaos around the world. People don't want to follow a madhab. I will make up my own, rulings. And they don't even know Quran, they don't even know Arabic. They don't even know translation properly. They just pick and choose. And they don't follow hadith, they follow the hawa, desire. Let me give you an example. Sheikh Raheem Keller, he's a new Muslim, revert, American scholar. He is a Shafi'i and his wife is Hanafiya. Sometimes they do have their, arguments. Anyway, Sheikh Raheem says that when I embraced Islam and I started studying hadith, I saw in hadith that in Bukhari that the Prophet ﷺ urinated while standing. And there were other hadiths where he said he urinated sitting down. So I said that is a hadith as well, this is a hadith as well. But because before embracing Islam I used to urinate standing, so I kept on urinating standing. But then as time passed and I went deep into research and I saw the shuruhat, Fathul Bari and Aini and Kirmani and all the shuruhat after learning Arabic, I realized that, I wasn't following the hadith, I was following my hawa, my desire. Because that was easier for me. So I was looking for the loophole, the easiest for me. And that was only one hadith in Sahih Bukhari. There are 10 hadiths in other books of Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, Nasa'i, Ibn Majah, which say that Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam's regular habit was to sit down and urinate. The hadith of Hafsa, I climbed on the Ibn Umar on the roof and I saw Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam urinating sitting down. Shurahbil ibn Abdul Rahman, Shurahbil ibn Hasana, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam came out with a shield. He went at a distance. He put the shield in front of him to cover himself, and he sat down behind him, and he sat down and urinated. The hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, Man haddathaka anna Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam kana yabulu qa'iman, fala tusaddiqhu. Ma kana yabulu illa qa'idan. She said, if someone tells you that was his regular habit to urinate standing, don't believe him. His regular habit was to sit down. Why did he urinate in that one instance narrated by Bukhari? There was some reason behind it. He had pain in his knees. He was rushing. He was sitting in a majlis. He was unable to sit down. There was so much dirt around it. His clothes would have got dirty. That's why he couldn't sit down. And so many ta'wilat are done. So when you claim to follow hadith, in reality you're not following hadith. You're following what you like. You're following your desire. And today, there is lots of tashahhi, shahawat. We want the easy loophole, right? This person, he was asked, can we sell alcohol? And he said, no problem, I'll look it up for you. He comes after 3 days. I went into a library. I went through the books of hadith, and I found one hadith which says, yes, you can sell alcohol. La ilaha illallah. Where did he get the hadith from? There is the fiqh scholarly version, many hadiths which say, Inna alladhi harrama shurbaha harrama bay'aha. That Allah who made alcohol drinking haram, He made selling alcohol haram as well. Where did He get this hadith from? Allah knows best. So what happens is people play around with deen. So in order to avoid playing around with the deen, avoid messing your deen, it's much more safer to follow a madhab. Once someone asked me this question, Maulana Sahab, why should we follow a madhab? I said for 2 reasons. Number 1, because it's safe. And number 2, because it's easy. It's easy to follow madhab, right? It's easy to follow madhab. It's like, the biryani, the food is ready over there. You just go there, khalo, eat to your fill, and jazakallah, thank you very much. Dakar leli chaldi. You don't need to inquire about the ingredients. Where do you get the chicken from? Where do you get this masala from? Where do you get the rice from? Why are you inquiring about the ingredients? You don't have time, man. You go to work 9 till 5. You got your own job. You got your own life. You can't read Quran and Hadith. You don't know all the collection of the Hadith. Most easier is come to Maulana Shoaib Sahab, come to Qadi Sufyan Sahab, ask them, Maulana Sahab, what is the masla over here? Maulana Maqsood Sahab, Maulana Bijwi Sahab, Maulana Bilal Sahab. Just go and ask them. They know. They've studied Quran and Hadith. 10 years they have spent. They became Hafiz of Quran. They are ulama. Ulama awrasatul anbiya. You have to trust your ulama. They are the experts in this field. You have to come to them, take masail from them. Don't take your masail from internet. Don't take your masail from here and there. These people on internet. I don't call them scholars. They are speakers. There's a world of difference between a scholar and a speaker. They might be able to speak very eloquently, better than me and Maulana Qari Sahib and everybody over here, but they're not scholars. They're not scholars. They study a little bit of Arabic here and there, and that's it. They haven't gone through that rigorous study of all the books of Nahw and Sarf and Arabi and Balaghat and Mantiq and Hadith and Fiqh and Tafsir and Usul Fiqh, Usul Hadith, Usul Tafsir. You have to go through these 14 ulum and sciences to become a profound and perfect scholar. You have to, and then after that becomes mufti. You have to do a 2-year course to become a mufti. I'm sorry I'm taking much time. Once, I was in Darul Bari. And some friends came. They were from Leeds, originally from Saudi Arabia. They had come here to do some researches. So one of the friends brought them to Darul. I said, okay, bring them. So I went around, I showed them around. This is classroom. This is first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, Mishkat Sharif, Dore Hadith. These are his classes, these are young boys, these are the senior ones. And then after that, I took them to the library and I took them to the Ifta class. This is Darul Ifta. So what is Darul Ifta? I said those students who pass through the Alimiya course and they are bright enough to become a mufti, intelligent, they get good marks, we allow them to go into the Ifta class. But those who have low marks, we say, no, bhai, Ifta is not your piece of cake. So those intelligent ones, they go into the Ifta class, they become mufti. And he starts looking at my face. And he said, wow, this is how the system should be. He said, in our university, in Medina, Jamia University, a student comes and within the first month, he's a mufti. He starts giving fatwas. I said, no, this is wrong, this is right, this is, who is Abu Hanifa? He doesn't know anything, I know more than Abu Hanifa. I said, what is this? You have to go through this rigor. He specifically mentioned the name of the university, that's why I'm saying it. Otherwise, I don't want to criticize anyone. He mentioned it. He was from there in that area. He said, over here they come and in the first month or two, they become mufti and start giving out their rulings from their pockets. This is how deen is messed up. People follow their own desires. So, it's much safer. Why is it safer? Easy and safer. Why is this safer? Why is this safer? Because you don't have to answer to Allah on the day of Qiyamah. Right? If on the day of Qiyamah, Allah asks you why you said this, you can say, Maulana Shoaib ko pakdo. Maulana Shoaib gave me the fatwa. Allah, you deal with him. He gave me the fatwa. But if you did your own research, Allah will say, if you did not have the ability to do research, why did you do your own research? Why didn't you listen to the ulama, the muftiyan kiram? You know something nice I read? Imam Ghazali's works. Imam Ghazali rahmatullah alayhi said, the example of a person who does not have the tools of ijtihad, who is not full hafiz of Quran, who is not full hafiz of hadith, who doesn't know athar sahaba, who does not have the ability to do qiyas and analyze masail, who does not have all these tools, and he delves into Quran hadith and makes his own masail. Imam Ghazali says the example of that is like a person who doesn't know how to swim, who does not have any life jacket, and he jumps into the ocean. What's going to happen? He's going to drown because he's not got the tools to save himself. And this person as well, if he does not have the right tools of ijtihad and he goes into Quran hadith to make his own masail and assumptions up, he's going to drown. He's going to go astray. And believe me, I've got so many quotes over here, but my time is up. Muhammad Hussain Batalvi Sahib, Fatawa Rahimiyya, page 131, volume 6 narrates. I'm going to read Urdu. I'm sorry if you don't understand, I can't translate English. मौलाना हुसैन बटालवी से 25 बरस के तजर्बा से हमको ये बात मालूम हुई है कि जो लोग बेइल्मी के साथ किसी मुज्तहिद मुतलक की तकलीद कर देते हैं बावजूद बेइल्म होने के लाइल्म होने के, वो बिल आखिर इस्लाम भी छोड़ बैठते हैं। उनमें से बाज ईसाई बन जाते हैं, बाज लामजहब जो किसी भी मजहब के पाबंद नहीं रहते, एथिस्ट और डहरिया और पता नहीं क्या क्या बन जाते हैं। अहकाम शरीयत से फिस्क और खुरूज तो उस आज़ादी का अदना करिश्मा है। इन फासिकों में से बाज तो खुल्लम खुल्ला जुम्मा जमात नमाज रोज़ा छोड़ बैठते हैं, सूद शराब से परहेज नहीं करते, और बाज जो किसी मसलहत दुनियावी के बाइस फिस्क ज़ाहिरी से बचते हैं, वो फिस्क खफी में सरगर्म रहते हैं, नाजायज़ तौर पर औरतों को निकाह में फंसा लेते हैं। कुफ्र और इर्तिदाद फिस्क के असबाब दुनिया में बहुत हैं और भी बकसरत मौजूद है, मगर दीनदारों के बेदीन हो जाने का बहुत बड़ा सबब ये भी है कि वो कम इल्मी के बावजूद तकलीद छोड़ बैठते हैं। नवाब सिद्दीक हसन खान अल-हित्ता बिदिक्र सिहाह सित्ता पेज 467 पर लिखते हैं, फ़क़द नबत फ़ी हाज़ा ज़मान फ़िरक़तुन ज़ातु सुमअतिन व रियाइन तद्दई लिनफ़्सिहा इल्म अल-हदीस वल क़ुरआन वल अमल वल इरफ़ान इला अन क़ाल फ़या लल अजब अय्न युसम्मून अनफुसहुम अल-मुवह्हिदीन अल-मुख़लिसीन व ग़ैरहुम बिल मुशरिकीन व हुम अशद्दुन नासि तअस्सुबन व ग़ुलूबन फ़िद्दीन. This is their statements, and I have some statements over here from Hanafiya, Shafi'iyya, Malikiyya, Hanabila, that following one mazhab is wajib. Ibn Abidin Shami writes in his Hashiyah on al-Bahr al-Ra'iq, قال الإمام أبو الحسن الخطيب في الفتاوى والمفتي على مذهب إذا أفتى بكون الشيء على مذهب إمام ليس له أن يقلد غيره ويفتي بخلافه لأنه محض تشهد. Malikiyya Sannusi writes, Abu Abdullah Muhammad ibn Yusuf al-Sannusi al-Maliki, أما العالم الذي لم يصل رتبة الاجتهاد والعامي المحض فإنه يلزمهما تقليد المجتهد لقوله تعالى فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. والأصح أنه يجب عليهما التزام مذهب معين من مذاهب المجتهدين. وفي فتح العلي قال المازري لا أفتي بغير المشهور ولا أحمل الناس على غيره وقد قل الورع في زماننا وقل التحفظ على الديانة وكثر من يدعي العلم ويتجاسر على الفتوى فيه بغير بصيرة ولو فتح لهم باب مخالفة مشهور المذهب لا تسع الخرق على الراقع وهتك حجاب المذهب وهذا من المفسدات التي لا خفاء بها. قال أبو إسحاق الشاطبي انظر كيف لم يستجيز هذا الإمام وهو المتفق على إمامته وجلالته الفتوى بغير المشهور في المذهب ولا بغير ما عرف منه بناء على قاعدة مصلحية ضرورية يعني قلة الورع وقلة الديانة من كثير ممن ينتصب نفسه لبث العلم والفتوى فلو فتح لهم هذا الباب لانحلت عرى المذهب. وقال الشعراني في جواب سؤال نعم يجب عليه التقليد لئلا يضل في نفسه ولا يضل غيره. شافعية finishing جلال الدين محلي في شرحه على جمع الجوامع page 442 والأصح أنه يجب على العامي وغيره ممن لم يبلغ رتبة الاجتهاد التزام مذهب معين من مذاهب المجتهدين. وقال الإمام النووي في مقدمة المجموع صفحة 93 volume 1 والأصح عند القفال الشاشي له مذهب فلا يجوز له مخالفته. وقال مقتضى قول المجموع فعلى هذا أي وجوب التمذهب بمذهب معين يلزم أن يجتهد في إثبات المذهب. मुकल्लिद इमाम आलिम को चाहिए कि अपने मजहब को साबित करने की पूरी कोशिश करे, समझाए कि हमारा मजहब कुरान हदीस से साबित है और लोगों को चाहिए कि उस मजहब और उस रिसर्च को पकड़ें और उस पर अमल करें, अपनी रिसर्च न बनाएं वरना गुमराह हो जाएंगे. अल्लाह हमारी हिफाजत फरमाए. बस ये बातें कुछ जहन में आई, अर्ज कर दी. अल्लाह पाक कबूल करे. अल्लाह हमें मजबूत पकड़ने की तौफीक अता फरमाए. इसी में सलामती है, सेफ भी है, ईजी भी है. मजहब पर अमल करो, उलमा को फॉलो करो. ये वारिसीन अंबिया हैं, वारिसीन अंबिया की बात मानना ज़रूरी है. इंशाअल्लाह इसमें खैर है, हिफाजत है. अल्लाह हमारे जवानों को भी समझ अता फरमाए. अच्छा भाई मौलाना बिलाल साहब मुझे पीछे कुछ किताब दिखा रहे हैं. पीछे वी गॉट सम बुक्स ओवर देयर फॉर सेल. उसमें अगर आप ले जा सकते हो तो लेते जाएं. हमारा भी थोड़ा काम हो जाएगा, आपका भी फ़ायदा होगा. इसमें एक बहुत अच्छी बुक है गिफ्ट फॉर रमज़ान. इसमें बड़े मसाइल हैं अच्छी तरह. रोज़ा, तरावी, ज़कात सब मसाइल उसके अंदर मौजूद हैं. पढ़ लें, इंशाल्लाह बहुत फ़ायदा होगा. और सस्ती ये 3 पाउंड की बुक है, आपको ज़्यादा पैसे भी नहीं होंगे इंशाल्लाह. और भी कुछ तफसीर वगैरह भी है, लेते जाएं, फ़ायदा होगा. भाई डिस्काउंट दे देना, स्पेशल डिस्काउंट. सुब्हानकल्लाहुम्मा बिहम्दिक नशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्ला अंता नस्तगफिरुका व नतूबु इलैक. परवरदिगार आलम हमारे यहाँ उठना बैठना कहना सुनना पढ़ना पढ़ाना कबूल फरमाइए. हम सबसे राजी हो जाइए. या अल्लाह जो कुछ कहा सुना उसको हमारे दिल में बिठाइए और उस पर अमल की तौफीक अता फरमाइए. या अल्लाह फुक़हाए किराम मुज्तहिदीन, they work so hard to establish the mazahib. Oh Allah, reward them for their efforts. Shower your rahmah and mercy upon Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Shafi'i and Imam Malik and Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal al-awwal, rahmatullahi alayhim, and all the ulama of salaf from today until Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam's time. And Allah give us the tawfiq to respect our ulama, respect our mashayikh, respect our muftiyan kiram, and learn from our ulama and mashayikh and study from them and follow the Quran and hadith in light of their interpretation and explanation and in light of their research. And Allah keep us strong and united on our deen and iman, yaqeen till our last breath. Accept our humble efforts, be pleased with us. Protect this masjid, protect the imam sahab, protect the community and the committee, and accept all the good work that is taking place over here. And Allah protect the deen, the iman of their children and the ladies, boys and girls and everyone. Allah keep us strong on our deen and iman. Accept our humble du'as, be pleased with us. Give us all the good things which your beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked from you, and protect us from all those evils from which he sought your protection. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصل اللهم وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم
Our dear brothers, alhamdulillah, we do not have words to thank Sheikh for coming and spending this valuable time.